Hello and welcome to the Geekatorium podcast number 136. Is it 100? Are we just carrying on, Matt, where we left off?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Why wouldn't we?
Welcome to the Geekatorium podcast number 136. It's good to be back a second time in 2 weeks that we are here. So thank you for joining us. As always, we are live streaming currently on YouTube. So if you're in the chat, hello. We will be talking to you afterwards. There'll be an exclusive post podcast chat that you can always join in on the live. And for those who are listening on whatever platform you're listening on, if this is the first time you're listening to the podcast, welcome. If it's the second time, welcome back. If it's the third time, what are you doing? What are you doing? In this podcast, we are going to be chatting about the end of Daredevil Born Again, the end, the finale of that, and the beginnings of the second season of Andor. We have a Fantastic Five, which is going to be a roundup of some of the other things that we have been watching. And our Fantastic Five is sure to be fantastic tonight. That was terrible. I'm never going to do that again. So without further ado, let's go into the podcast. Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. This is exciting for us, isn't it? Look at us. We managed to do another week. We're continuing. We're continuing with the podcast.
I feel refreshed doing it as well. Like this hasn't been stressful at all.
Right? Compared to what it used to be. But it also feels like putting on a comfortable pair of shoes again, like old shoes that you just go like, yeah, I remember this. I remember how this all works. So
you have a thing about your own footwear. I remember one of our early podcasts, you were talking about how you would only have a good day if you wore socks that day.
I'm wearing socks now.
Good. I was worried.
It still holds true. And I actually think that might be to do with my ADHD. Like I genuinely think it might be like an ADHD sensory I don't know, but I think like having learned that I've been like diagnosed as that, I'm like maybe that was the reason. It makes sense. That makes sense. What have you been up to? I've been just work and writing quizzes and learning things on the guitar. It's been a big week for guitar stuff, but we'll talk about that later on. Oh, I'm excited
because of stuff that we were going to talk about in our Fantastic Five. But
of course,
oh my god, it's been exciting and frustrating all at the same time. When you're at the level of guitar I am, which is definitely in the intermediate category.
Oh god, if you're intermediate, where am I? I'm like what, beginner then.
And you're fine. You're not trying to do the stuff that I'm trying to do.
Oh yeah, it's very true. This is very true. I'm not doing anything right now. That's fine.
Okay, no. That's definitely, that wouldn't put you in intermediate territory.
No. I'm at the stage of trying to keep my guitar away from my toddler. That's the stage. No. That's where I'm at.
See, that's what ukuleles are made for.
I've got a ukulele. I'm trying to keep him away from that as well.
Oh, no.
It's okay. He'll get his own guitar eventually. It'll be like one of those Fisher Price guitars, and then I'll be annoyed. So I think he'll probably play better than me as well.
Get him the Jack Black saxophone.
Yes, that's it. Do you know what he's really got into? Like because toddlers, kids, they always get into like a thing. That's their thing. So like he's gone through like a Paw Patrol stage, which he's still kind of into that. But what he's really got into right now is the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm okay with.
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Absolute classic, isn't it? Genuinely, he's into the Chris Pratt, Jack Black movie. And I'm okay. Minus the Chris Pratt aspect, I actually think it's a pretty decent film. Like, it's actually...
it's a fine film.
For a Mario film, they did a good job of it. It's like... Is it better than the Sonic film? No, but it's good, you know.
I think the thing that the Sonic film, I don't like that the Sonic film changed the lore. At least the Mario Brothers movie is like following essentially the lore of the Mario Brothers story.
This is
but
true.
the Sonic ones do not. Like if you're a hardcore Sonic fan, you would know that the origins of Sonic becoming a blue hedgehog was actually down to Dr. Robotnik when he was used to be a good guy called Dr. Kinterbor, and all of this. It's like, you know, and they completely got rid of all of that, and I was actually disappointed.
Yeah, I liked it for what they did. I was happy with the direction. Have you what like again? Just anyway, Mario. I was about to ask you, have you seen the Knuckles TV series?
Mario, yeah.
But we're talking Mario, so he's totally into Mario right now, and he genuinely likes Bowser a lot, especially with the whole sort of peaches, which is And I'm just like, okay. So I like the Mario Brothers movie, but not 30 times a day Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, no.
Toddlers.
Oh, no.
Have a toddler. Don't have a toddler. It's fine. It's fine. I can deal with it. At least it's stuff like that, and it's not Peppa Pig or anything like that. So,
yeah, but you got really into Bluey. Like for a grown man, you got really into Bluey, didn't you?
Yeah, but you don't understand, mate. Like Bluey is like. Bluey's perfect. Bluey is like the perfect kids show and adult show as well. Like it's got everything. And like
so perfect that Disney actually removed an episode, didn't they? Or they changed an episode.
Yeah, but that's because Americans can't handle, and apparently the UK can't handle trans people anymore.
Oh no, I was thinking about something completely different. Okay,
do you know what the episode was about? Do you know what the episode they removed was?
The thing I was talking about was they changed it when the dad was sort of made to feel like he was too fat or something. And
No. So that's the episode. No. It was the episode was that he was pretending to be pregnant.
Oh. But that's a stupid concept for a kid's show.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But apparently, Andrew Tate wasn't too happy with that. So there you go. It's the weirdest thing. Like it's like all it was they pretend to be pregnant, and then suddenly it was like, oh, we can't have that because people are going to get upset about it. And we're like, why? It's like my wee one has like dressed up in cat dresses. He was born as biologically male, but I'm not going to complain that he's playing dress up and having fun. Like that's all I care about. Like. Okay, this is not supposed to be a political podcast. This is the Geekatorium, but I will say allies. We are 100%. 100%. Okay, so I'm just going to put that out there. We're allies. So there we go. I think we've alienated, a good few people there straight away. Good. I'm glad that we did.
Fuck them.
What a great way to sort of build our audience. We don't want you in our club.
I mean, to be fair,
no, I don't. I really don't want them in my club. Just like leave. Anyway, let's talking about sort of like the right wing and terrible people being in charge of things. Let's talk about DareDevil.
Wow, yes. I mean,
wasn't that art imitating life?
As it went on, and for the fact that as well, it was filmed like 3 years ago.
It was filmed well before Trump.
A lot of it was filmed a long time ago. Yeah.
A lot of it was filmed before Trump, and you're just going there going like, oh damn.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this a bit last week, where the clips of the people on the street sort of going like, yeah, but he apparently murdered someone. Oh, I'd have liked to have seen that, and and it very much did mirror that I could shoot someone on 45th Avenue and no one would care, and it was exactly those sorts of feelings that were sort of being put across by that show. But now to sort of see it like in action, the way it's ended with him literally imprisoning the whole city essentially.
Yeah. The thing is, like, so at the end of that episode, the black and white sort of ball, and Matt Murdock jumps in front, takes the shot. I was like, how is this going to end? Like, what are they going to do with this? How is this going to happen? How are they going to finish this off? I didn't know. I didn't think they would go there. Like, it felt like it was going to always go. Like, it did feel like it was going to go one of two ways. Like, It felt like Fisk was trying to be a mayor. Like he was genuinely trying to be at one point.
Yes.
And then it just obviously the whole he can't help his own nature type thing just happened. And yeah,
there were these nice little sort of nuggets of it. So like at the very bit, like the first episode, Murdoch says to him, says, "Oh, you're lighter on your feet. You're walking lighter. You've lost weight." But then like 2 or 3 episodes later, Vanessa's helping him put on a jacket and it's too small for him.
Yeah.
So it's like he's growing, he's coming back. He's becoming the monster again. But it's like these tiny little things that you're seeing. And I did like the sort of them. I mean, you never believed it, but where they were setting up like, oh, she's not happy. She's not happy. It's like, no, she absolutely is on his side, and they will like.
Yeah, they always were though. I mean, like
together again.
If you go back to the original series, she was like, she's just as bad as he is. Like, she's conniving, she's evil. It's crazy, but yeah,
off on it. Let's just say it. She got off on it. It was like a weird kink for her. That's what it was.
And so this is the thing, like, especially with that last episode as well. Like, I am impressed that Disney did not hold back. Like, no. They did not turn around and go, by the way, you have to make this, Disney friendly. Like, they went, no, just, break arms, do that. It's like, have Frank Castle be Frank Castle.
Like, no, break faces, break heads.
Yeah.
With his bare hands.
Oh my God, that bit that I was just like, and they showed it and they showed the results of it. And you were just like, okay, that's.
I loved the rest of the police reacting to that scene. They're like, what have we got into bed with?
It's really hard. Like, so what's been really hard is watching this show and then trying not to react with it with the sense of the political climate right now. Right, I have to say, because I think if this had been if Kamala Harris had won, then and this was released, then everyone would think like this is a great piece of fiction.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's not. Like, it's literally not a piece of fiction. It's now like this is what we're seeing happening. Like people like talk about Trump as if he's like this, he's just a bit of an idiot and this and the next thing. He thinks he's a mobster. He thinks he's like a crime lord. He's a man who doesn't respect the law. He sees himself as above the law, and he thinks that he is doing the best for America in the same way that Fisk thought he was doing what's best for New York. But again, he's just a criminal who can't help who he is. And just, by the way, just Vincent D'Onofrio's performance, just seeing it was just chilling. He's just
but with a touch of charm as well.
Yeah.
Like when he can move, like his dancing, it wasn't awkward or anything. He was moving like I am in my element.
Yeah.
In my element. And there was nothing weird about it, or like, oh, he was just the awkward fat kid when he was younger or something like that, which some of the earlier seasons kind of put into it. But it's like, no, he wasn't that. He's the mayor. He's got a gorgeous wife. He's got everyone. He's got power. He's got everything. He's the man that wants for nothing. And it was wonderfully executed, that whole ballroom bit.
Oh, so incidentally, I don't know how I didn't realize this, but he was the other day I found out he played Edgar the Bug in Men in Black.
How did you not know that?
I don't know how I didn't know that. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Please tell me you knew his Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket. Okay.
But it was just like Edgar the Bug. I was like, oh, okay. I never thought who played Edgar the Bug, like the actor.
I suppose, yeah. You know he was in Jurassic World as well. No, I'm just
yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
So brilliant. But the return of Frank Castle as well, obviously, but alongside Karen as well, was just like a
great co-op mission they had to do.
Yeah. But it was just like, let's bring I loved when they walked out the apartment just absolutely ragged.
Yeah.
It's just
And the whole thing, I mean, it's again, it's like the greatest video game you never play. It's you just get to do a really good fight sequence in a game or something, quick time events. It was great, like the way it built up to it as well. The way it built up, and the little very MCU lines of dialogue, you know, is like, how do you know it was me? It's just like, fresh shower, you know, shave and off, and you know, you've got cologne on just for me, and it's all very Marvel, very MCU. But yeah, then the violence kicks in. It's like, yeah, you don't see this in Captain Marvel.
But it's quite nice actually, because obviously Daredevil, when it was on Netflix, it was technically part of the MCU, but it wasn't part of the MCU. It was like off of this little thing, and they were like
adjacent,
occasional, like a newspaper on the wall for the events of the Avengers movie and stuff like that would be like the amount of reference that you get. So it's quite nice that now it's like this is part of the MCU. So it is the MCU, it's there, which then sort of begs the question, because obviously we've seen the trailers, but a significant portion of the Defenders happens in New York, and now there's a curfew and a thing against vigilantes. So like, how is that going to play? Are they just going to sidestep it and avoid it, or are they actually going to sort of address it in any way, shape or form? I don't know.
Let's think about the projects that are coming up now. So Thunderbolts. Now, Thunderbolts.
I said Defenders, Thunderbolts. Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. No, but it made sense because Defenders could be part of the new army that they're putting together.
And I think they will be.
Spider-Man as well, potentially. There's always rumors about that sort of thing. But yeah, Thunderbolts has the Avengers Tower that now is owned by Val.
Yeah.
And that's in New York.
Yeah.
So whether this is set before those events or after those events, what else is coming out? We've got Fantastic Four. That's set in a different universe entirely, so that's nothing to worry about there, I don't think. There's Wonder Man, I think, comes out later this year. So that I think is going to be based in LA, because it's about an actor playing Wonder Man as opposed to, well, it's both. What other projects are there? Can you Ironheart? That's probably New York, isn't it? Oh no, she's based somewhere else.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let's phase 6. Yeah, should we have a look at phase 6?
Yeah, phase 6.
So this is phase 6 that we're looking at. So we've got coming up Fantastic Four, Doomsday, obviously, Spider-Man, new Spider-Man film as well.
Brand new day, but that's not till next year. There's like 6 things that are out this year.
Okay, so this year we've got the Fantastic Four, obviously, in terms of a movie. Thunderbolts, and then we've got coming out Eyes of Wakanda.
That's an animated show.
Animated, Marvel Zombies, again, that's animated. Wonder Man, as you said, that's coming out, and that's going to be so we don't know yet. Another series of Daredevil next year. Vision Quest as well. We don't know much about that. Let's go back to phase 5. Let's have a quick check on that as well. Films, any more films? No. So Thunderbolts is the only one that's sort of coming out next, and then TV series. Ironheart. Yeah, so Ironheart will be the next one. Chicago. So that's Chicago.
So no, that's so. I wonder if you'll just see like, interesting events, like background in the news, just like interesting events in New York as Mayor Fisk's curfew continues to, like, you know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So
one of those things.
It is crazy. So like, how is that gonna, like? Because obviously, pre-phase 6, pre-phase 5, New York was the center of everything superhero, really. Like everything happened there. The
Battle of New York. Everything that's ever happened in a Spider-Man movie, apart from the one scene that was in Washington. Infinity War, that starts in New York, hence why Spider-Man turns up.
And finishes in upstate New York. Endgame finishes in upstate New York. So like, the Avengers campus is upstate New York. So like literally New York has been, so it'll be interesting to be like, okay, so New York is under the control of Fisk, and he's got this curfew, 8 p.m. curfew, early curfew, by the way, like early.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah, like
but that's so that you know, all the criminals can run rampant like at night.
Yeah. So it's gonna be weird to see how this builds, and especially season 2 of this next year. I'm glad that they've announced it's gonna be next year. I mean, I know the writer's strike was the big thing that stopped a lot of stuff coming out, but 3 years between some series. Oh my God. Good God.
Yeah. But one of the things though, that this was in production for a long time, you know, the production troubles this Daredevil Born Again had. So like they filmed nearly all of it, but both Vincent D'Onofrio and, oh my God, his name's gone from my head.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Yeah. They both just went to Kevin Feige and just said, everyone's going to hate this. It should be a continuation. But strangely, I've seen criticisms of people going, oh, it's too much of a follow-up from what came before, so it's hard to follow. And it's like, Jesus,
you can't please anyone any of the time. That's the world, the way the world works. No one can ever be pleased at any point.
It's so annoying.
So it's like,
but yeah, I do. I think it's amazing that they spent the money and went, okay, we'll do everything again. I think only one episode survived the original filming, and that was the one in the bank.
That's such a good episode, though. I love that episode.
But it makes sense as well, because if it's got like Kamala Khan's dad and it's all a bit lighthearted and fluffy with all the scenes with him. So it's like, okay, that sort of makes sense. But I think they then filmed extra stuff, you know, like the leg being broken in half and stuff like that. I think that was added as a reshoot later on.
What do we reckon for season 2 then? I mean, I think the Defenders will come back. I think so.
Yeah, there's lots of speculation as to, and I don't know whether to speculate whether it's spoilery or not. But I don't know anything for certain. Should I speculate into
speculate? Yeah, speculate away.
Well, there was an old comic run where Foggy faked his death.
Yeah, I was actually literally about to bring that up as well. Like, do we think there's a chance? Because I think it's interesting they made such a big deal that they were going to bring back all the original cast, including Foggy, and then they kill him off in the first episode.
But does that mean Bullseye would have been in on it?
Oh, by the way, that prison escape.
Oh yeah. But let's just like there was elements of like, oh, he's a little bit special in the original Netflix series. He's full blown super powered to be able to spit a tooth through someone's face. A normal person cannot do that. Let's just put that on the table there. A normal person.
I think you're forgetting that you and I are both friends of Javier Harkin, who can throw playing cards through melons. So,
okay, I'll reserve my disbelief for a second. Okay, fine.
But anyway, I think I personally, I think the Defenders will have to come back for this. I think, and it'll be interesting if they do bring back, because I think obviously Luke Cage was amazing, Jessica Jones amazing. Will they bring back Danny Rand? And I think they might. I think they'd do it. I think
they might as well. I think they'll give him another go. I never saw the second series of Iron Fist,
neither did I, because I didn't like the first season.
I actually didn't mind the first season. I really didn't. And I think the point of not liking him was the point.
I
got that as a vibe. Like, he was a bit of a dick, and I got that.
My wish list for season 2 is just one episode. Just Jennifer Walters, please. Let's have She-Hulk. Let's have a She-Hulk episode. The connection is there. And she can come in and play it serious. She doesn't have to be jokey joke. Like, she doesn't have to do fourth wall breaking in this. She doesn't even have
to be Hulk. Just bring her in.
And she's she's brought in to do a case or to support with a case, and that's it. It'd be amazing. So no, because I just more Tatiana Maslany in the MCU is just always a good thing.
Right. I don't care what the general consensus was for She-Hulk. She was great, and I liked the show.
Yeah, exactly. I will die on this hill. About She-Hulk. Okay, so excited for season 2 then?
Very excited for season 2. I mean, I've seen some of the production, like behind the scenes shots and stuff like that. Like, I've seen his new suit, and it looks great.
And big ramifications for the MCU as a whole with Fisk and the New York. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about, so that's endings. finales. Let's talk beginnings. Let's talk beginnings. 3 episodes out, and it's 3 episodes a week, isn't it, that they're doing? So,
which I love. I think that's fantastic.
But it's like there's going to be a time skip between each week, between each set of 3. So we're not watching a series here. We're talking about Andor. We're actually watching movies each week. That's essentially what's going on. Is we're watching a
3-hour movie nearly.
3-hour movie each week. But with that in mind, how did we feel about the first 3?
I really like them. I think it meandered a teeny bit. On that planet, like the planet where he was stuck with the TIE fighter.
With the two, with the survivors who then decided to tear each other apart.
Yeah, and then he just left, and it's just like, fuck you guys, and then he's gone.
Well, I think I think it was interesting because I think the thing I've loved about Andor, and I've said this before, I think what I love about Andor is that it's, and I put a tweet out about this as well, and I got a lot of flack for it, but I'm going to stick by this. I'm going to repeat it again. I say a tweet, a thread, sorry, right? Yeah. Star Wars is at its best when the Jedi are a mythical force and they're not the center of attention. Okay? Yeah. And hear me out. Like, people will say, well, what were the original prequel? I mean, it's all about Luke Skywalker and no. It started off, A New Hope was about the rebellion. It was about the rebellion and blowing up the Death Star. And there just happened to be, they introduced the concept of Jedi Knights, and that's fine. Empire Strikes Back was that full trilogy was really a lot of it was rebellion heavy, and there was just that through line of mystical force stuff, and that was fine. Then the prequels happened, and it was no, Jedi are front and center and everything like that, and it was fine. It was generally fine, but I was, it's aged. Funnily enough, I think the prequels have aged better than I expected. And I think it's more people looking back on them and being like, hey, maybe we were a bit unfair on them, or the fact that the sequels are them. But if you look at Rogue,
the CGI in the first ones, that I can't.
Yeah. And then, but the thing is, if you look at Rogue One example of the new movies that were released, so of all the new movies, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Rogue One, Solo, the ones that I enjoy the most are Rogue One and I'm gonna say Solo. Actually, I actually watch Solo ahead of the sequel trilogy these days because it's just a bit of fun. Okay. But the whole point is Andor is takes that and ramps up. The Jedi just don't exist because everyone's forgotten what they are. And if they do talk about them, it is literally myth and legend. And that's what I'm loving about Andor, because it is about people. And because the problem with Jedi is that they've made them, and the Force is that they've made it so overpowered now. So it's okay, it started off with the Force is something that goes through all living beings, and you feel it, and it helps you focus, and it helps you be one with the Force. Yeah. Then it became, okay, now we've got, we can push and pull things. Okay, cool. Now we've got lightning. Okay. Now we can run really fast. Now we can deflect Now we can deflect lasers. Now we can heal people, and now we can defeat death. And it's none of this matters now. So now nothing. There's no stakes with a Jedi story, because ultimately they'll come back as a Force ghost and continue the story, or they'll be cloned and they'll come back and somehow return in Fortnite. The point is, there's no jeopardy now with Jedi stories. Whereas with Andor, there's jeopardy all the way through. And listen, I know we know the fates of Mon Mothma, of Cassian Andor. We know their fates, but we don't know the fates of a lot of the other characters. And it still feels very real what's going on. Andor's friend dying, he was a big part of that first season, and big character, and then just gone. And there was no goodbye. There was it wasn't a heroic death. It was
no. It just happened. Just one of those things. Yeah.
He just ran and then died. It was just a horrific thing. And I think for me, Andor is just this. I'm enjoying it so much more because it is about people. It's more about the people who are actually suffering through the Empire, as opposed to the Jedi who do that.
It's also about good guys having to do shady stuff. You know, the good guys having to make bad decisions just in order to get the victory that, you know, you're rooting for them, but you don't want them to do the things that they're having to do to get that victory, but they have to do those things to get that victory. And that's just the murky reality of war. Well, that's what's going on.
It's what Andor said in Rogue One, the things that he's done from a young age. We are seeing those things happen now.
The thing it's actually like going back to a little bit of what we said not too long ago about, is it going to be Disney-fied? There was a sexual assault scene in a Star Wars project. Like, what the hell?
They didn't hold back either. It was like I was watching it going like, this is like triggering. Like, it's so graphic.
She even used the triggering word, which I was actually, I'm avoiding saying that word because it is a triggering word. It does begin with an R, but she actually says that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is Star Wars. And they're not even just going to like brush it away. They are saying, no. And it is to solidify, no, these are the bad guys. You don't root for them.
Yeah.
And then they give you the mundane of the Imperial lot with that strange relationship that has now blossomed, which I feel like I must have missed something at the end of season 1, because I thought she was disgusted by that guy.
She is, but I think like because she's forced into that situation. Like I think it's showing that like the Imperials, there's a lack of emotion, a lack of warmth, and they do things because they have to be done. Like there's that, and there's that bit where she talks about how from a young age she was taken to like an Imperial outpost, and that's how she was brought up. And so I think there's a bit of like that whole sequence. Yes, she's disgusted by that guy, but she's also having to do what she has to do. It also goes down like even in that first bit, the first time she meets Ben Mendelsohn's character, and they're like, you have to do these things, like, you know, you have to, and I think that's kind of showing that she has to do these things. That scene was brilliant. I loved that scene. I think it was so well done. And you're right, it's a weird relationship. It is jarring as a relationship, but I kind of get what they were doing with it. And I did enjoy it, especially just to sort of like, this is how this is going to work to the mother-in-law. Like, just like wow. Like, you know, I'm sure we've all felt this way at some point. We've always wanted to say that, whatever. Not to my mother-in-law is lovely, by the way. My mother-in-law is lovely.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're talking from personal experience, I don't know what you mean. Not at all.
But no, what I found this season is, and I guess probably because I've watched through the first season, because I don't know about you, but the first season, it took me years to watch. Like, it literally took me maybe a year and a half to watch, maybe, because I'd watch the first episode and get bored, watch the second episode and just be like, then I'd watch the first and force myself to watch the second, and I was like, I can't get into this. And it wasn't until I broke the fourth episode, I was like, oh, okay, this is good. This is really, really good. And like,
it took a while though. Yes, no, you're right.
It takes a long time to get into because it does drag. I don't feel these first. I mean, I know you're saying I kind of see what you're saying with that episode on the planet with the survivors, but
an episode. It was 2 episodes.
2 episodes, yeah.
Until the end of the second.
I enjoyed it generally myself, but I don't feel like this season is dragging as much as the first, or like is as slow as the first season was. I feel like it is moving with a pace. I feel like there's more. Again, stakes are higher, but more personal. Like the Mon Mothma stuff is. She's just condemned her childhood friend to death. Like,
oh, and that wonderful, he's like, we know the number. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. How nice for you. Oh, I mean, if she had actual balls, he just kicked them.
Yeah,
that's what happened there. He was just like, how fucking dare you? You know what I have to do now.
And if you were at the beginning of the stream waiting for this to start, I hope you appreciated the choice of music that we put for you to listen, because that scene is just, it's so funny watching a lot of people online going like, what was the point of that? It's like, it's because she has to let go, and it's she has to, because
and she also has to put on the act. It's her daughter's wedding day, so, and she has been getting drunk. Like you see her, like, you know, get into it a bit, but and then the wedding turned into a German nightclub. Why not? Okay, amazing. Sure.
But it's like it's hard for her as well, because obviously her daughter is getting married to, it's an arranged marriage, that she's now going like, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this, and her daughter's choosing the life that she doesn't want to exist. Like she wants, it's again, right? I hate this, right? I hate this, but once again, we've got another show that it's like life is imitating this art. Like it's the younger people are turning more towards like conservative values, which is what the daughter did there. Yeah. And the mum is like, it's like, I'm more, it's crazy. So no, I've genuinely enjoyed those first 3 episodes. I think I text you going, dude, you have to watch these, because
I think I was just about to start the second one when you text me. And then I only watched the third one last night, but it is fantastic, and I'm very much looking forward to the rest of it. I've just found that bit on that planet a little bit crap. I thought the actors were not very good.
I mean, I'll give you that. I get it. I get it. Like, obviously it's just to show that it's kind of become a Wild West out there because of the Empire, and the way that it's like, and these were good people, and you could, like, the makeup of the group were good people, but it's the people who were willing to do the bad stuff that took over the group and forced everyone else to. It's the crabs in the bucket thing. The worst will always drag down the best. And I think it does show that, the rebellion is made up of the people who are willing to be good, to do the good stuff and do bad stuff. But there are people out there who are, as soon as they can just be an arsehole, they will be. And I think that's what that was kind of showing. And I think it was a shame, like you could see like the pain on Andor's face, like leaving them behind, because he knew there were good people that he was leaving behind, but he couldn't. Yeah.
I mean, it's everything that Rian Johnson was trying to do with that scene on the casino planet in Last Jedi, in terms of showing the actual class divide as well. Because that was something you never saw in the original films. You never actually saw general life. You just saw the people. Like you saw the military of both sides, but you never actually saw everyday life. Apart from maybe the Lars family, but on the outback of Tatooine, that's not like a general consensus for the whole galaxy. You didn't see life on Coruscant, you didn't see life on Naboo, you didn't see any of that.
Dude, you need to watch Skeleton Crew. You need to watch Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
Oh, again, God. Skeleton Crew. The Jedi are mythical. Like it's so good.
When is Skeleton Crew set?
After Return of the Jedi. So it's
right. Okay, so it's after. Well, after the.
So it's New Republic.
Yeah. Right.
But it's brilliant, and again it's that whole example of when the Jedi are mythical, Star Wars is better.
Yeah.
So I think Andor, first 3 episodes in, very, very happy. Cannot wait to see where it goes. I think it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, we'll have 3 more episodes to talk about. Oh no, probably 6 more episodes.
The whole thing to talk about, because we're doing this every 2 weeks, aren't we? So
we'll see it then. Yeah.
Shall we? We're gonna have to, So we're gonna have to change this theme tune. We're gonna have to reword it. We're gonna have to do some words. Shall we play it? Let's play it.
Play the theme.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, fantastic 5.
I maybe need to change like 2 lines. The rest of it's actually not.
But you did a little bit, because we're not doing like the old lists anymore. Like if you go back to any of our previous episodes, we used to do the top Fantastic 5 weapons, Fantastic 5 shoe wear.
Although, but sometimes we did Fantastic 5 worst things as well.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? So we're not doing that anymore, because it's difficult, people. It's difficult to come up with these lists.
We have no time.
Like, I don't know how BuzzFeed does it. Like these lists are difficult, right? So we're keeping it a wee bit more simple. It's a Fantastic Five other things that we've watched. So other things that we've been doing.
Yes.
So we can catch you up on that. We're going to alternate it. I'll kick it off. The Studio on Apple TV Plus. Have you watched it?
I'd not heard of this until you mentioned it.
Okay, so I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say it. I think Apple TV Plus is putting out some of the best TV that no one has heard of.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, it took a while for people to get into Severance. It took a little bit for people to get into Ted Lasso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
but
I think you're right.
There's things like For All Mankind is still going. The Morning Show is fantastic. There's shows like Loot, which a lot of people haven't heard of. Acapulco, which is great. Foundation is on there as well. And there's a whole bunch of great shows on there. But this is one that's just started. It's called The Studio, and it's by Evan Goldberg and Seth Green, the producers and directors and stars. And it follows Seth Green as his character is promoted to become the head of a Hollywood studio. Thing is, he thinks he's an auteur and he wants to make like prestige films. Think like American Beauty style films, those like very artsy, that type of thing. But the studio he works for want to make blockbuster. They want to make the Emoji film, the movie. Like that's the type of thing that they want to make.
I've just realized I do know what you're talking about. It's I think you got a name wrong and you confused me.
Which one? Which name did I get wrong?
You said Seth Green. It's Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Sorry, Seth Rogen.
I was just like,
you know why I think Seth Green? Do you know why Seth Green's in my head? I'll tell you why Seth Green's in my head. I walked in earlier to the living room. My wife was watching Grey's Anatomy and Seth Green was on the screen. And I was like, oh, that's Seth Green in Grey's Anatomy. And then I walked out. That's why. Seth Rogen. Sorry, Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg.
Rogen. Yeah, no, yeah. Now I have seen clips of this. Yes.
So clips, good. It's phenomenal. The writing in it is so sharp, so funny, so biting. The casting's fantastic. So you've got like the likes of Seth Rogen, you've got Catherine O'Hara as well, is in it. But then you've got like actors appearing as themselves. So just in cameos and stuff like that. And they're all brilliant. But it's just one of these shows that it's so funny. But if you have an inkling of what it's like in the entertainment industry as well, it's like, yeah, it's very true to what it's like, and what the people are like, and it's genuinely one of the funniest things. I've laughed out loud so many times throughout the show. It's totally worth it if you haven't seen it yet. Totally recommend it.
Okay. No, I know just who to watch it with. So I think I'll give it a go. Because I have, as I said, I've seen bits of it. I saw like an interview with Seth Rogen. They did something on Hot Ones, and I just was like, oh yeah, they've got a new show coming out, so I'd like to check that out. So yes.
Oh, and I mean, like you've probably seen some of the clips. So like, because it's like the cinematography in it is like phenomenal. There's a lot of like like adolescence style stuff where they're like single shots of like involving drones and passing them to hand cameras and back into drones and stuff like that. So there's some really amazing shots through it, which are what was making up a lot of the clips. So yeah, if you get a chance, Seth Rogen, The Studio, absolutely brilliant.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I'll check it out.
Should we split ours up, or shall I do my two first? Or
I'll do one because then we'll get into the geekier stuff. Because I think what I'm going to talk about is not quite our usual geeky stuff.
Okay, go for it.
Because it's more music based.
Ooh,
it's more music based. Because at the end of 2023, I had a relationship end. And that led to and I won't stay too long on this, but just to say, I had to live with my ex for a very long time, and I was staying in a loft, and I was not a very happy man, as you can imagine. Mental health was not at its best at that point. And someone I was working with was listening to this band. This band just kept on popping up on a playlist. And every time I was like, "Oh, this song's quite good. What's this? Oh, it's this." It was always the same band, and it's a band called Ghost. They're from Sweden. I don't know. Do you know Ghost?
No,
you don't know Ghost?
No, I don't know Ghost. No.
So they're from Sweden. But the funny thing about this band is they have like a story. It's a lore.
Right.
They're now on their 5th singer. It's the same singer, just playing a different character.
Okay.
It's very bizarre. So especially the first few albums are kind of like doom metal kind of, but not doom as in like, it's always quite melodic vocally and everything. But they wear these most ridiculous costumes, like, because the whole story is that they're the mouthpiece of a satanic church.
Right.
And they initially started in the 60s. And that's like one of their singers like sings these songs that sound like they're from the 60s. They came out in 2019, but they came out in the 60s.
Right. Okay.
So all of this, and I became obsessed with this band. I needed something to sort of latch onto at this point in my life. I needed this. And I just got very into this band, and they've just released a new album. And I saw them live at the O2 Arena last Saturday, and it was freaking amazing. It was awesome. The funny thing is they just had a new album come out. Now, one of the things with a satanic church is obviously the outfit and the imagery and everything. Their new album has the image of a skeleton pope on the front cover of it. What day do you think this album came out, Rick?
No, it did not. It did not. Please tell me it did.
Oh, it did. Oh, it did.
That's amazing. That's genuinely. You couldn't have timed it better unless they were actually involved in the. I mean, maybe they were the ones who sent in JD Vance to finish the job.
But that's part of their sort of costume, like so that the whole thing is that their singer is known as like a papa. So
right.
Like the first 3 was like Papa Emeritus the first, Papa Emeritus the second, Papa Emeritus the third. Then they had Cardinal Copia, who then ascended to becoming Papa Emeritus the fourth.
Wow.
But now he's been promoted as head of the clergy, but he feels he's been demoted because now he's no longer the singer of the band. So this is the whole like story of it. Like he's really pissed off that they've got a new singer who's actually his secret twin that he didn't know about. And now they've got this new singer who's Papa 5 Perpetua. And that's the current singer now. And it's just, I love this stuff. Like, I love the theatrics. Imagine it's like Kiss and Alice Cooper, but also mixed with Ozzy Osbourne and ABBA. It's amazing music. The stage show is incredible. Like he wears like a full-on anti-pope outfit.
Wow.
At times, not all the time, but at times he has a full-on anti-pope. Look up Papa V Perpetua. Let's see what image you get.
Okay.
Because then you will see the kind of craziness, and it's all down to this guy called Tobias Forge, who is just. And I love it. So that's something I did. I went and saw Ghost. And it was an amazing live show.
There we go.
And I'd recommend the album. Probably don't recommend the album to people that like the early Ghost stuff because it's not that doomy and gloomy. It's actually quite bright and like almost like Queen rock, basically. And that's a complaint that people have about this band is that they don't sound like they look.
Yeah.
But I think that's actually part of the charm of it.
I mean, I'm looking at these images here, and this is like phenomenal. Yeah. This picture here, though, it's Noel Fielding, isn't it? It's
you look at the half skull one.
Yeah.
That's the new look. And people have gone nuts because normally he wears like a full-on rubber mask over his entire face. Like it's crazy. And he would perform on stage like that for ages. Now people are going nuts because now the mask only covers half and you can actually see his mouth move and people are like, we can see him singing. It's like, okay, calm down. Calm down a little bit. It's just a costume. But
I love it.
I I love the music. I love the theatrics of it. I think the story's quite funny because it is quite funny. The web videos are funny. So yeah, that's one thing that I've done is Ghost. It's not our usual geeky stuff, but it's certainly something you can get geeky into.
100%.
If you dig deep. If you dig deep into the lore, it's very geeky.
Very much so. Great. Love it. I'm very happy for you. It's like,
thank you very much. It was really fun.
I love it. I love it.
So, what's your next on the 5 list?
Oh, very geeky. Oh, I'm gonna go like let's swing this all the way back to proper geekdom here.
Okay.
Over the last, I think like one of my big aims career wise has always been to be like stage hosts at conventions. Like, come on. Like, how cool it'd be.
I wanted to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do that now up here in Scotland. So last couple of years, I've been stage hosting at events run by, well, they're now called what have they renamed themselves again? Anyway, the point is, I've been doing it with them.
Oh, you're going to get booked again.
I know, right? Oh my God. How have I forgotten? Oh my God. Now I need to find them. Oh God, I feel so terrible now. Especially because the guy who runs it is like a good guy. Basically, KaijuCon Scotland. This is what I did at the weekend. Fan Frontier. So this is them. This is Fan Frontier, and they run 3 cons a year in Glasgow at the SEC. So the first one they run is a smaller sort of, it's like a gaming event so it's more video game focused. And that's in March. So I did that one, and I did one. It's a 2-dayer. I did the second day and hosted some of the panels there, which was really cool because I met the guy who played Yanto Jones in Doctor Who. That was really cool. He wants to come and do Star Trek versus Star Wars at the Fringe. So that's going to be pretty cool, right?
Hopefully by then you'll know his name.
Yeah. Gareth, I've got his number. Gareth, we go way back.
To March.
Yeah, to March. I met a whole bunch of people who do like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that as well, which is very, very cool. September they do a big one, like it's their Comic-Con, it's there, and like last year I did Star Trek versus Star Wars there, and Billy Piper was one of the main guests. I did a Red Dwarf panel with Doug Naylor and Hattie Hayridge, and it was just like, at that moment I could have just died and life would have been complete. Like I completed it, you know what I mean? It was just like, what a moment.
I find that funny. You've hung out with one Holly, I hung out with the other.
Yeah, I know, right?
I lived with Norman Lovett at the Edinburgh Fringe, and you did a show with Hattie.
Yes. Hattie's lovely, by the way. Oh, she's so lovely. Anyway, so I met them, and it was really cool. But this one I did is KaijuCon, so it's anime and manga. So anime and manga con, which like I like anime. I'm not as in-depth knowledge of anime as some people. So like there's stuff that I know that I enjoy. So for example, Akira and Ghost in the Shell, very well-known stuff. I have got into some other stuff as well. Some stuff has been introduced to me. So Times Gate, as I think it's called. And then Full Metal Alchemist as well. I've watched quite a bit of that, which I really, really enjoy. And then, of course, it's all the Studio Ghibli stuff, which is really lovely as well, which I enjoy. So, but for me, anime is like one of these things that I enjoy, but it's not something that I go massively in depth to. Like, I don't know. There's a whole level of it that's like, holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like, but I did the hosting at this, and it was a bit of a different one as well, because it wasn't like, there weren't like guests per se. There was a lot of cosplaying, and there was a lot of like people doing presentations. So I was just sort of hosting, sort of bringing people to the stage and sort of keeping the crowd warm throughout the day, and it was really lovely. It was really, really lovely to do. Genuinely, the people who run it are lovely, but the guests they get on were great as well. The cosplaying, just out of this world, like just insane. So they run a C3, what they call C3 cosplay competition, and the winners, they had 4 winners, and they'll go on to September to compete in the finals. And it's like big prizes involved with this if they win. But like the people who, I was like, girl, just like she went on wings and they unfurled, and I had no idea how they unfurled. She showed me afterwards, just a button that she pressed. I was like, how did
you build that? Yeah.
Like, she was like, it's just a button. I'm like, you still built that? That's like still phenomenal. Like I can build IKEA furniture. Like that's about it.
What technology is available to us now, though? That's the thing. Like you'd have to really build that from scratch back in like the 80s and 90s. Now you can buy some stuff that's ready made, especially like cosplayers. Cosplaying is like a full-on business. People will build stuff just for cosplayers for those exact reasons.
No, it's absolutely insane. And the level of detail of some of the cosplaying was just, it was beautiful. And I mean, like as well, like not even the ones that are like massively impressive, like those big ones that are like, it was like even people who were doing like some of these smaller cosplays that were like just smaller incidental characters wearing sort of dresses or like kimonos or stuff like that. The detail that they'd make them themselves and the detail that they put in was absolutely phenomenal. So it was really cool to be, even though I'm not the biggest anime fan, like there's stuff that I like. It was cool to be part of, like really, really cool to be part of. And I'm loving this stage of my career where like I rock up and I get to do these conventions and just do the stage hosting and meet cool people. Like that's what I'm just really enjoying right now. I can't complain. Forget stand-up comedy. Who cares?
Yeah. No, good, man. That sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Nice.
HaijuCon, and I'll say the next one I'll be doing is the Epic Con in September. So keep it, and I'll be doing Marvel versus DC at that one. So
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Yeah, let's see. I feel like they're on an even par now.
No.
DC's still terrible.
Marvel still haven't made anything like Suicide Squad bad.
Second Suicide Squad was good.
Second one, the Suicide Squad, yeah, but no, they haven't made anything that is. They've made something that is, I guess you could say like Batman versus Superman bad, which was Eternals, because it was slow.
Or Shazam: Fury of Gods bad, which is Thor. Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going with that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
I'm very forgiving. I could still watch it and enjoy it.
I didn't.
It's the goats. The goats made me laugh.
What else have you got?
Give me a screaming goat and I'm yours. Anyway, right, my next one, I've been playing and I'm very late to the party. This game came out again, I think end of 2023. RoboCop, Rogue City.
Ooh.
I've been playing RoboCop and I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's not, it's frustrating as hell. But it's fun because like you're in the world of RoboCop. You got Peter Weller doing the voice. You got Nancy Allen doing the voice of Anne Lewis. Like you're in that world. You walk around the precinct. You got to do these weird little side quests, and it's so in with the RoboCop humor. I'm going to give you a little bit of a story beat of the game, and I've got to let you guess what my side mission was, because you won't guess it. And that is, there's a scene where Lewis gets shot. You think she's dead. Okay. And you're like, oh my God, have they just done that in the game? Like, that's crazy. And then it turns out she's in hospital. She's in a coma. You find this out when you're at the precinct. And then you have to do something at the precinct as your side mission. I'll give you one guess. What do you think that side mission might be?
So I have to do something at the precinct?
Yes.
While she's in a coma?
Yes.
Is it? It'd be something stupidly mundane, isn't it? Like feed the cat or something like that.
I have to go around the precinct and collect signatures for a get well card.
I need to play this game now.
That is one of the side missions of the game.
phenomenal.
But it's so RoboCop.
Where was that side mission in Alien Isolation?
We're collecting for the xenomorph witnesses.
I love it. People forget with RoboCop how funny it was.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, totally. There's a radio advert at one point, and it's a little kid like asking, it's like, "Mummy, where do we go when we die?" And then you hear the mum go, "Well, that's easy, honey. You go up." "Oh, do you mean to heaven?" "No, I mean up into space with astral jetpacks." And it's like, and it's an advert.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I love it. It is, but oh, that's so good. I need to play this game now. I genuinely need to play it.
Yeah, the tone of it is just right. The stuff I've already had to deal with an Ed 209. Of course, I have. There's a bit where you are with an Ed 209 and you have a little battle. Who's the most efficient? So who gets the most kills, Ed 209 or you? So it's quite cool in that respect. But yeah, the humor's like spot on. The gameplay, it could be a bit better, but there's some fun. Like the blood splatter, of course, is brilliant.
I can forgive poor gameplay if the story is like there, like if the accuracy and stuff is there. I can, like, if it was a bad story and wasn't true to the source material, then the gameplay, like, nothing can save it. But it's like, yeah. My favorite thing about RoboCop, though, because just to sort of go on a little bit of a side quest here now, is my favorite thing about RoboCop is, I remember this is an article I read 12 years ago. Someone wrote that RoboCop is an almost symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical film.
Yeah.
And it's
I call it a perfect film.
No, perfectly symmetrical film.
Perfectly symmetrical.
Okay. I brought the article up. Here we go. Okay. So the article says like this. Okay, it's a simple thing that he came up with to show it. Like, so the cat was heavy. She ate too much food. Something had to change. She ate less food. Now she's less heavy. So that's the sort of symmetry of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. So RoboCop, he's actually put it all out, AVV, and then he's put like images and everything to match it all up. So main title at the beginning and end, RoboCop. There's a media break right at the beginning, almost at the end, last scene at the end. Main character's identity. So he arrives at the precinct. He also, at the end, he accepts himself as RoboCop and Murphy. Yeah. OCP executive killed during a meeting. Happens at the beginning, happens at the end. Bob Morton and Dick Jones. So the ambitious junior executive named Bob Morton literally goes around Jones to pitch his idea for RoboCop. And then later on, when RoboCop is asked for evidence, he provides a testimony of Jones saying he had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. Okay. So, Clarence Bodiger's introduction and farewell happen almost symmetrically. The car chase, it's like, if you go through it and it's like, oh my God, it like literally goes right to the middle. And so like the middle part of the film is, where is it again? Let's see if we can find it. Is the RoboCop's arrest is the turning point of the film.
When he arrests Bodiger.
Yeah. That's the turning point of the film. And then so like it goes up to that point and then it basically repeats itself in reverse.
Okay.
I'm going to send you this article.
Do. I want to read it because I consider RoboCop to be a perfect film. It's not my favorite film of all time. It's up there though. But it's perfect because it achieves everything it sets out to do. Bar some ropey effects here and there, sure. Okay, there's the bit where Ed 209 falls down the stairs and RoboCop walks away. It's clearly against a green screen. And Dick Jones's enormously long arms as he falls off the tower at the end is comical. But I think that's also part of the joke. I think that's part of the charm that it is supposed to be silly. I think Paul Verhoeven was just like, let's not fix it. That's funny. But then
that was part of his shtick in terms of like, it's like, look at Starship Troopers as well. Starship Troopers had like moments of naffness all the way through it because it was supposed to be this Starship Troopers is propaganda about propaganda.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, 100%.
So it was supposed to be a bit naff. So I think like that's the thing about RoboCop. I think it's the same idea. Like it's supposed to be, yeah. So no, great. I'm gonna have to try it. I actually genuinely, you've sold it to me. You've sold it.
Excellent. Good. Excellent.
Hot.
We have one more thing to talk about.
Can we make this Fantastic Five extra fantastic?
Oh, it's going to be the most Fantastic Five that ever fantastic.
Because we are going to talk about the Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four, yes. First steps. Fantastic Four, first steps, because as it is officially called.
That was the official trailer release.
The official trailer. Before there was a teaser, this is now the trailer.
And I would play it, but I don't want us to copyright or anything like that. So I think we would be allowed to, because we'd be reacting to it, but we're going to leave it. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it.
So it's not really a reaction at this point. So
how do we feel about it?
Do that in the future. We can do a reaction video.
Yeah, exactly. Might do it as a separate one to the podcast, or maybe we do it after the main part of the podcast that we put out.
Yeah.
How do we feel about it?
I think it looks good. I weirdly am not sold on Joseph Quinn.
Are you not?
No, I don't know why. Because I loved him in Stranger Things. But for some reason, I look at him and I go, "You don't look like a natural blonde. You look like Eminem." No, do you know what he looks like? He looks like the guy who dressed. He looks like Stan in the music video of Stan. He looks like the guy that wants to be Eminem. That's what he looks like.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
That's what he looks like to me. But otherwise, like the tone of it seems quite cool. I'm baffled as to how they're going to end up in our universe, or at least the MCU universe, because it's a completely separate thing.
I think I know why.
Okay.
Well, I think I've got a theory. And obviously it's to do with Galactus and all that.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's obviously, I think Galactus destroys Earth.
I think you're right. I think that's going to be the end, is that they're going to lose.
Yeah, they're going to lose. Galactus is going to destroy Earth. But I think, because like there's been a lot of stuff that's happened recently in the MCU where they've been setting up things that are important. I think if you don't, like, so anchor beings for a start. So this universe's anchor being, and if they die, then the timeline dies as well. And I think by destroying Earth, Galactus destroys that timeline and that strand. And I think Loki is going to save them.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've just got this feeling that something with the TVA, and I think it actually might be Loki himself or Mobius. I think there's going to be a moment where they're really leaning heavily into the TVA. I think it's like Deadpool, Wolverine. I think they've shown that they're not afraid to use the TVA now as the.
Yeah, I don't know. They'd have to set that up early in the film, though. You can't just like have the whole film and then Owen Wilson turns up. You can't just.
No, I get no, absolutely, and I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be. So obviously, we are joining this film at a point where the Fantastic Four are established as heroes. They're established as the
only heroes in
the only heroes. Yeah. And I think what's happened, because obviously Pedro Pascal is who he is. So Mr. Fantastic is the smartest man in the universe. He's obviously, I think his research has led to multiverse theory.
Yeah, he says in the trailer that he feels like it's his fault that what's happening is down to him, his experiments in space.
And I think that's what's going to happen. And I think that's where the TVA comes in. I think that's where they're going to come in.
Interesting.
So I think that's how they're going to end up in the prime MC, like on the 616 as they sort of like.
It's got two names. It's 616 in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness lore, but in everything else, it's Earth 1999.
Yeah. So whatever it is, but they're going to end up in the prime MCU. And I think it's going to be the TVA that does it. And I think it might be Loki. I think I don't know why. Because I still think, I think like the TVA are still on that sort of like.
I have another person that might be,
Go for it.
because they've already set it up as well. What if it was Hank McCoy and and Monica Rambeau?
Monica Rambeau, yeah, absolutely, it could be that as well. So, but I think basically Galactus is going to destroy Earth, which will kill an anchor being, and the timeline will start dying, and the timeline, they have to be saved. They're saved as part of that.
Okay, interesting. Are you liking the Silver Surfer?
Yeah, I think she's right, but she's the Silver Surfer, but she's not the original Silver Surfer.
She's not our Silver Surfer.
Yeah. But I think
she is a Silver Surfer who has existed in the comics.
Absolutely is a Silver Surfer. There's nothing that I get. But I think she's great. I think it looks. It just looks good. It looks how It looks how I wanted a Fantastic Four film to look, and I didn't realize I wanted it to look that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I love Pedro Pascal, by the way. I love Pedro Pascal. I also feel a little bit like I don't quite 100% see him as Reed Richards yet. No. I'm not against it, but there's an element where I look at him and I'm like, I just don't see you as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. No, I get you. I think for me, the biggest one that I'm enjoying though is seeing people get annoyed about Thing's voice.
No, I'm all right with it.
Well, the whole thing is he doesn't have a gravelly voice. Like in the comics, he doesn't have a gravelly. I know that sounds stupid to say that you can't hear his voice in the comics, but the point is that he can put on a trench coat and hat and no one thinks anything of it. Like he can talk to people and no one goes like, "Hang on a second, your voice is very odd." Like
he's not Christian Bale as Batman. Like,
exactly. He sounds normal. So he can actually blend in to a degree and sort of hide his looks, but his voice sounds the same. So for him to sound the way that he sounds, I'm like, cool. But I mean, he is just doing his role from the Bear, isn't he?
I feel like they were just like, we have to have a scene with him in a kitchen.
Yeah.
We just have to. We just have to have a scene with him in a kitchen, tasting food and judging it. Like, actors are allowed to do more than one thing. Let them do that.
No. I'm very excited. I think this looks good. And I think like it's a shame because I don't look forward to MCU stuff as much as I used to. Because I think there's been a lot of missteps recently, especially a lot of missteps and a lot of underwhelming stuff recently.
Yeah, I in one sense I agree with you, and in another sense I just think that after Endgame and everything, it's people and myself, and I think you included as well, is with these films they build, and I think people find it very hard to adjust to having to rebuild.
I almost feel like
to go from the heights of Endgame and then Spider-Man Far From Home and then Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's like, oh my god, and then you've got to actually reset a little bit and let it build. And I think that people's expectations, and I'm including myself in this, is people's expectations can sometimes be too much. Like people wanted Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to be Deadpool and Wolverine. That trip through the multiverse. That's what people sort of expected that to be.
Yeah.
But it had to be a Doctor Strange story.
Yes, this is true.
And Deadpool and Wolverine is great because you were able to use that multiverse thing and use it for laughs and use it for big old winks to the camera, because that's what Deadpool is all about, is big old winks to the camera. So that's why that worked. I don't think it would have worked in Doctor Strange. There would have been too much going on.
Well, that's why that scene with like all the alternate sort of Mr. Fantastic, was very jarring, I felt.
I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't have the problem with it that other people did. I definitely didn't. I know that I get the criticisms of that, but I just thought, yeah, this works. It's fine. It's all right. It's quite fun. But I think it would have been too much if it was like, oh, but wasn't Deadpool supposed to be in it? And I thought like James Marsden was supposed to be in it as well, and it was going to be this, and it was going to be this, and it was like, chill out.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing that just in Doomsday, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're already doing that. So we're going to get that.
Chill out. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. That's our fantastic 5 other things that we have seen over the last couple of weeks. Let's play the music. Let's play the music again.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, fantastic 5.
And that's it. That's it. That's the end of the podcast, isn't it? Another one done. Another one done. We did it. We did it again, buddy. 136. Oh, we're back in the game. We're back in the game.
Until we get to 200.
Oh my God. I always thought we would get there. And we're going to. We're going to get to 200. Oh, thank you so much for
syndicated.
Thank you to everyone who's watched on YouTube as we've recorded this live, and thank you to everyone who is listening at a later date on whatever platform you are listening to the podcast. Hope that you have enjoyed it. Yes. If you have enjoyed it, a couple of things that you could do for us. First of all, come over to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, and hit the alerts so that next time we go live in a couple of weeks, you'll get an alert and you'll be able to watch the recording live. Because after this bit here, after this little bye-bye bit, we're going to stick on and have just a conversation with the chat and with everything else, and that's cut out. We cut that out of the audio bit, so you can come and hear that. What else? So if you are listening in, whatever platform you're on, go ahead and leave a review. Please leave us a review, 5-star review, whatever you're listening, especially on Apple Podcasts. It helps us. It helps us climb up the rankings, and then people will go, "Hey, that podcast sounds good. Let's see what." Oh, it's them. But it'd be nice if we fooled them, but just a little bit, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you agree, Matt?
100%.
And follow either Matt or me on socials as well. So I'm here on YouTube. I've got Threads. I've got Blue Sky. I'm not going near Twitter ever again. And we are both on Twitch as well. So you can find me. My name is you just use my name, Rick Carranza. You find me. Matt, how about you? Where can they find you?
Yeah, it's Matt Blair UK. That's me on Twitch.
Fantastic. So follow us both for all your streaming and entertainment needs. I mean, I bet you, if we did a Fantastic Four movie, like, we would suck.
But who would you be in the Fantastic Four?
I would probably be like background extra number 3. Look at his face. I mean, like, actually, to be fair, if the graying going on right now here, I could pull off a Reed Richards. I could do a Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Not as smart, but I could do it.
Yeah. I think if I dyed my hair blonde, I could be a Sue Storm.
And that's the end of the podcast.
I'll have your baby.
I'm giving you to Namor. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, shall we put on?
I had to make it weird. Weird.
You always make it weird. Like, even in the old podcast, you made it weird. You're continuing it. Shall we put on something a little bit more chill this time than the Mon Mothma style? Let's put on some acoustic. Should we put
I'm gonna have to have a word with. I can see in the chat with Tiny Dancer Rock, who wrote, "Did Rick just diss Fortnite?" And it was like, no, he didn't.
No, I didn't diss Fortnite.
He was dissing the fact that Star Wars used
Fortnite to announce the return of Palpatine.
Fortnite to introduce how Palpatine returned, or like the message that Palpatine left.
Ridiculous. So ridiculous to use that platform to like, I get it, because at the time, like, Fortnite was huge, but it wasn't huge enough that a lot of men in their 40s, which is the primary audience of Star Wars.
Just like, and it's also it's a huge plot point for a movie. It's a huge plot point. Why put that Easter egg in another piece of media? It's just so stupid.
Absolutely ridiculous decision. And then I remember when it was like, somehow Palpatine has returned, and it was just like, oh, okay, this is not going to be good. is not going to be good. What else have we had in the chat? Background music was a little bit high. I have to remember that background music was a little bit high, so I did try to turn it down for the end there as well. Yeah. We're still getting used to the live stuff, so we'll get there. We'll get there. There's also quite a delay I've noticed between chat and YouTube as well. I've noticed that, so there's quite a significant delay. Well, maybe there's not a delay, but there's like a delay between us talking and then it goes live on and on the channel. So it does mean chat's a little bit behind. So Thesis, Thesis goes Ghost, little love heart after there as well. So there's a fellow.
So Thesis is a regular on and on both of our Twitch channels.
And I haven't streamed in forever.
And I think I got a thesis into Ghost a little bit. Like this is because I just obsess and play lots of Ghost songs on my channel. I just learn all the songs. And yeah, we talk about Tobias Forge is the guy behind Ghost. So that
okay.
Nice. He's the singer and main songwriter.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't get into that. It's just really one guy and a band that wear masks. You don't know who the band are. They're called Nameless Ghouls.
You're not just describing Slipknot.
I know what you mean, but it's much more melodic and poppy.
Yeah, Slipknot have no melody. They just have a lot of anger.
And hitting kegs.
Yeah,
hitting kegs.
Yeah, a lot of that. But I do love the had to mention hello to the mention of Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Oh God, you remember when I played that? That was a good game. I still stand by that being one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life.
And I still haven't finished it.
And you're more of an Alien fan than I am.
I know, right? I know, but I'm not as much of a fan of stealth games as you are. So.
It was incredible though. But I don't know if it's weird because I wish I could play it again for the first time.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I feel like I could play it again and I would enjoy it, but the first time I played it was just so good. It would be too hard to replicate playing it like that again, I think. So one of those ones I wish I could revisit. Maybe I will at some point. Maybe I'll live stream it again, but I don't know. And I do need to stream again at some point. I was doing Fallout and I was enjoying that, but I've got kids.
Exactly. Yeah, no, of course, no, you never have time.
I'm very tired. I'm very tired a lot of the time.
So this is you're reminding me of something. As a guy I work with who did that thing of, so I wrote a joke for a bit of stand up, but I never got a chance to do it, and I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, whenever anyone says something like that to you, you're like, oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. No, I can't deal with that.
So I'll tell you the joke. I'll tell you the joke. It's me and my wife. So already you're like, oh God, where's this gonna go? Me and my wife had an agreement that out of all of the jobs that we have to do around the house, we could veto one job that we can agree that person never has to do that job. So I asked her first, and she said, I never want to take the rubbish out. I hate having to deal with the bins. I hate the stickiness on my hands. I don't like the smell. I don't want to do it. I never want to do that. So I said, absolutely fine. She said, what do you not want to do? And I said, help raise the kids.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm laughing because it's just like, oh no. Do you know? Like, oh no, why? Oh, that's so...
And I was just like, well, I said, you need more than that if you want to type 5. You can't stretch that out.
Yeah. Oh, it's really funny because like the people who think that would make good stand-ups don't make good stand-ups.
Yeah.
And it's the people who you would never thought would be that person make the good stand-ups. Like, stand-up's weird. Like it is like that. But I've quit stand-up.
I know, yeah.
I've gone.
You haven't quit comedy. You've just quit the circuit.
I've quit live club comedy. I've quit club comedy because it's. There's lots of reasons. Part of it is the family and like prioritizing them over. Like, I don't want to drive 3 hours to go do 10 minutes on a stage for free anymore. Like, I don't have the energy to do that anymore. Like, and that's what it used to be. So yeah, Ephesus said like, Matt, you did introduce me to Ghost, by the way. That's in the chat there as well. And Rick, completing Alien Isolation is a phenomenal achievement. I realize that. I know not a lot of people complete that game, like, which surprises me because like it's such a great game. Like, and the ending is phenomenal. Like, the tension of the ending, like that spacewalk, you're just like, what the shit? Like, it's so good. Tiny Dance Rock Gaming, listening on the car journey home. Oh, driving home for Christmas.
Actually, no, driving to this home.
Ah, okay.
Is
that right?
Yeah.
I love it. That's amazing.
If you want to call me Christmas, then that's call me.
Wait, I'm gonna quote Bond because Christmas only comes twice a year. Once a year.
No. No, he said it. He actually said
it. That movie. The world is not enough, and it really was.
That movie.
Oh, that was a bad Bond film. Every Bond has a bad one bad film, at least one bad film. Like, many have more, but they all have at least one, and that was his. I think. No, Die Another Day was the worst. No, Die Another Day was worse.
Oh yeah, no, Die Another Day was absolutely the worst. I mean, Quantum of Solace was pretty bad.
Do you know what? I will defend Quantum of Solace. I don't think it was terrible. I just think it was bad timing. Like, I think it was following such a good film.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was a shit sandwich. Like, it was like either side of it was phenomenal for Bond films, and it was just not quite there. Like, it was like, it tried to be a lot smaller, which was like,
well, it was writer's strike. This was the thing. It was during the writer's strike.
And I will actually stand by. I actually stand by that. I think it's got one of the best Bond themes.
Wait, the
Jack White
and Alicia Keys.
Jack White and Alicia Keys. I think it's a great Bond theme.
Jack White and Alicia Keys. Sorry, yeah.
I think it's a great Bond theme. I think it's a really great Bond theme.
I don't. And here's all right. And this is why. Right. So, pardon me if I've told you this story, but I'll tell it again for podcast's sake. You knew I used to co-run a musical comedy club.
Yes.
The Distraction Club. And about 6 months into it, we were trying to get the most amazing guests. And we'd found out that Matt Berry, David Arnold, had done a few gigs together doing some songs.
Okay.
You know who David Arnold is?
No.
Arnold is a composer. He was the composer for Casino Royale and Die Another Day. And what he likes to do is work with the writer of the Bond films and help integrate some of the song into the score so that it sort of fits with the whole theme of the film and all of that. That's what
I see where you're going now.
He famously didn't do that with Madonna because he was like, there was not a single melody in there that I could use. He was
there was barely melody in it. It was just weird.
So at this gig, Matt Berry does a couple of songs and David Arnold does a couple of songs. Occasionally they do a song together. But then, and this is a comedy club, but there was just this moment of, it wasn't comedy, it was just this beautiful little moment where David Arnold just goes, I'm going to sing you the song that never got used, and it was supposed to be Amy Winehouse singing for the theme for Quantum of Solace. And he sung the song that he wrote for her.
Yeah.
I couldn't sing you a bit of it now, I can't remember it, but I just remember the whole room being like pin drop quiet, like absolutely adoring the performance. Obviously he's having to make his voice a little bit squeaky because he doesn't have a woman's voice, but it was just fascinating to hear there's so few people in the world that will ever hear that song. And I've heard it.
But that's a great. That, like, there's a whole example of like people who should have sung a Bond theme, and Amy Winehouse is one of them. Like, like she should, like her voice, she would have perfectly suited a Bond theme. I don't think I will defend the Quantum of Solace theme because Sam Smith's one exists, and that is awful. Like it's so, and especially when the Radiohead version is out there, and it's phenomenal. Yeah. Have you heard the Radiohead version, like what they wrote?
Yes. I also think though, the Radiohead one was very good, but I also there's definitely a Muse song called Supremacy, which I am certain was supposed to be a Bond song.
Yeah, I'm sure of it as well. I'm so sure of that as well. I've heard
it's got the James Bond like
everything about it. Yeah,
it's got that in there. So I'm positive that was their submission for a Bond, and they just went, "Oh well, we'll just put it as track one of our album."
What is the most underrated Bond theme?
I mean, I know my favorite, and that is "You Know My Name," Chris Cornell. That's my go-to karaoke song.
I mean, of course it is.
I bloody love that.
But I'm talking underrated.
Underrated. It's got to be like the Duran Duran one, really, hasn't it?
Oh, that's a great one. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, I was gonna go with Sheryl Crow. Tomorrow Never Dies. It's a really good one.
No, The World Is Not Enough. Garbage.
Oh, yes.
That was a great tune.
Terrible film.
Yeah, great song.
Great Bond theme.
Like, her voice was made for that kind of music.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, Shirley Manson. Oh, yeah. Okay. Garbage.
you just had a really nice memory of a teenage boy.
Teenage me. Shirley. She's Scottish.
All right. Calm down, Rick. Calm down.
I just Scottish singers are just like the best.
Are they though? No,
yeah. Yeah, we're pretty damn good. We're pretty damn good in Scotland. I mean, like female singers wise, Amy McDonald, Charlotte Spiteri, Katie Tunstall. Yeah.
I'm not a big Katie Tunstall fan.
No.
Oh well.
That died.
This all petered out at the end, didn't it?
Oh, I love that. What was the point? We're talking about comedy though. We're talking about...
Jesus does point out Shirley Manson was in Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. She was a teen.
There you go.
I remember the scene. She appears out of a urinal. I remember that scene.
Are we enjoying the smooth jazz that I put on for us, by the way?
Oh, it's lovely. I feel I should have a cigar.
Yeah, right. Maybe what we should have, like as props, is like smoking, like Troy Hawk style smoking jackets.
Yes. Well, I've very much considered. You can get a vape that looks like a pipe.
Oh my god, you should totally get that. Please get that.
I feel like I should, but they're so expensive.
Yeah. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to like get this podcast back up to where it was. And have some patrons,
so I can afford a vape pipe.
Like, head to my if you head to my coffee, Ko-fi or however people pronounce it .com /Rick Carranza. Let's get a goal on there for Matt Blair's pipe vape.
Just £1 a month.
Just £1 a month that you can feed.
You can feed my nicotine addiction. Did you know nicotine addiction affects one Matt in the Wimbledon area?
Give us your fucking money. Oh, amazing, buddy. Oh, you know what? I've enjoyed like us getting to do this again.
Yes.
And I love the way that we're approaching this now. Like, we were talking about this last week, or 2 weeks ago, how we wanted to do this again with the least amount of work possible. And I put out the audio. It didn't take that long. It took a day or so for this to be uploaded onto YouTube, and then I could download it. And then literally all I did was just clip either end of it and just put it straight up onto
amazing.
Onto thingy, and that was it. It was like compared to what it used to be. like done. But what I'm loving is that it's this bit now. I'm actually loving this, like the.
Oh yeah, where we don't have to strictly talk the geek stuff. I mean, we love talking the geek stuff.
Love talking the geek stuff, but now we can go on tangents because, like, when you do the podcast bit, we're like, we are going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. It's very we still put folks. We put work into this. Believe it or not, we put work into this. Like, we'll plan out what we're going to be watching, what we're going to be talking about. We pick our topics. Fantastic Five is agreed in advance, and then we sort of plan it all out, talk about it, meet before the show. Go right, okay, this order. Make sure we do this, and so that's all planned. Which is why we don't talk to the chat during that bit of the podcast. But then we come to this bit and we can talk to you guys in the chat. We can riff and just talk about stuff that maybe whatever. Like for example, I think we were like, what we're going to talk about, like in our Fantastic Five, and I mentioned Last of Us, which you haven't started yet, have you?
No, I haven't started season 2 yet.
Yeah,
no.
And I started season 2 last night, but I only watched like the first. I didn't finish off the episode, and oh my god. Like the bit I stopped at, we had to stop because if we watched it any more, Bernie wouldn't have been able to sleep that night.
Oh wow, okay. Interesting.
Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
I was up for continuing watching it, but I knew if we kept watching it, she wouldn't have slept. So it's very good though. That first episode, it's very good.
Do you know what this music sounds like? I just really got a Fallout vibe from the music just there.
Call out to the Fallout, baby. Fantastic Five, though. Like, anyone out there in the chat, what should we do? Do we change the theme tune? I kind of like the new format.
I like the new format, and I like the theme tune. It's one of my greatest pieces of work, and I think I could definitely redo the vocals because I did it with a shit mic anyway.
Okay.
And we could. I'll look into changing the words. If you have some lyrical ideas, send them my way.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm Rick because I don't want to hear.
Oh no, I want the chat. I want anyone in the chat pop into my Discord, and we'll put a little Geekatorium section in there. And in fact, I think the Geekatorium Discord's still alive, so you could join that as well.
Alive, yeah.
And put in your suggestions for the lyrics for Fantastic Five. Do you want to hear? Here's the song again. Here you go.
When your brain is in a twist, 'cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, Fantastic Five.
Okay, so that's what you've got to work with. Okay.
Yeah.
There's anyone out there, join the Discords, either mine or Matt's or the Geekatorium Discord if you can find them. And
throw suggestions. Throw them in our Twitch.
Suggestions. Just throw in suggestions for lyrics that we could have on the Fantastic Five. But yeah, I think we can keep. I'm happy to keep that format. You happy to keep it like that?
I'm very happy to.
Yeah, it's less work.
No, it's not so much that as well. It's quicker. We got to the end faster. We didn't meander. We spoke and went through our topics with the purpose that was required. So yes,
and I like it as well because it means that we can branch out into sort of other stuff as well because like there's so much on now. There's so much to watch, which is what makes it so difficult to do a podcast like this. Like that's why like so many geeky podcasts will now sort of like they'll either just focus on one thing, they'll niche down, or they will do everything, but they won't really, they'll do like the geek news. They won't do like reviews or whatever, it's really difficult to do it. So it's quite nice. Yeah. I think it's quite a nice way of just sort of pulling in some extra stuff.
Yeah. And it was nice to be able to, I was speaking about like going to a concert and all that. It was a little bit different to what we normally talk about. And that was
hosting. Yeah.
Different. Yeah. And it's nice. It's nice. Right. Unfortunately, I think because I'm expecting a buzzer to go off very shortly.
Is that from Tiny Dance Rock Gaming?
Yes, indeed.
Amazing. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching the stream. And listening to the podcast. It will go. I'll be as I just mentioned there, when this video is available for me to download, I will take it down. It will still be up, obviously. I will download a copy, strip out the audio, clip it, stick it up onto whatever podcast, up onto the podcasting network, and you'll be able to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, all these other different ones as well. So as we say at the end of there, if you fancy going on there as well and give us leaving reviews, that would be amazing. It would help us out a lot. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. So enjoy the rest of your evening, folks. And thanks again for 11:30. The time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine.
I've said goodbye now, so we actually are going to go.
Yeah, we've said goodbye. It's okay.
It's fine. Thanks for listening. Matt, do you know what? I just loved getting to do this again with you, buddy.
Me too, man. I've missed it immensely, and it just makes me smile. It makes me smile. So thank you.
Next week we'll be talking Andor, which not next week. 2 weeks we'll be talking Andor, which will be potentially 6 episodes, and maybe by then we'll have watched more Last of Us. Oh, so that actually might be worth. Yeah. Okay. Let's pencil in Last of Us, but it could be anything else as well. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything. Thunderbolts. Wait. Thunderbolts. Let's talk Thunderbolts. Yeah, Thunderbolts is coming out in the cinema, so we should go see that. Yeah, we should. But it also gives us plenty of time to go see it if we're going to talk about it on the podcast. Okay, we'll do Andor and Thunderbolts at the next podcast. Excellent. Awesome. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. Catch you later. See you later. Bye.